think the wind picked up. Yeah, I think so. What's the point?
Hi, Boo.
Damn, I crashed.
Started new lines.
I'll see you on the return trip.
Morning. Evening.
Somehow, to make the world I live in a little better place and make life with its problems a bit easier to face. Grant me faith and courage and put purpose in my days and show me how to serve thee in the most effective way. So all my education, my knowledge, and my skill may find their true fulfillment as I learn to do thy will. And may I ever be aware in everything I do that knowledge comes from learning and wisdom comes from you. Amen.
Rob, is that on?
Just
the members of our Board of Education. The president of our board is Mrs. Jean Meyer. Vice President, Mr. Wayne Edding. Treasurer, Mrs. Lisa Pelican. Member of the board, Mrs. Nina Knight. And member of the board, Mr. Bob Lurdy.
Good evening. Tonight's student speakers are as follows. Past will be read by Michelle Brett and Paul McEwen. Present by Susie Pudman and Jackie King. Future will be read by Leslie Hedges and Janine Elston.
Good evening. We'd like to welcome you to the graduation of the senior class of 1988. Take a look at the seniors. It will be the last time we will be
confusion. We stood in awe of the size of the school, wondering how we would make it to and from classes in only 5 weeks. We managed to fit in, and we tried not to look like freshmen. That year, we seem to have experienced so many things. We experienced the first homecoming, the formal dance, school spirit, and the cheerleaders and the bonfires and everything were totally new to us. Our freshman float took second, and Missy Robinson was our homecoming queen.
As freshmen, our football team finished 6-2, beating Duchesne 40-8, never to lose to them in our 4 years. And then the night of the bonfire, beating the undefeated St. Charles West Warriors 6-0, walking back into St. Charles High Stadium chanting "Ooh Ah, St. Charles," and being greeted and congratulated for our job well done. This year, the SCHS band was asked to play for President Reagan at the St. Louis Arch, and Mr. Sheedy won the Sexiest Legs contest, which was held to raise money for needy families at Thanksgiving.
Our sophomore year began with our anxious anticipation of our driver's licenses and the keys to freedom. Yes, we're happy to say that Mr. Cheese and Mr. Williams both made it through teaching driver's ed, gaining only a few extra gray hairs along the way. With our new driver's license came the new seatbelt law and hours of cruising up and down our favorite streets with our friends.
During this changing year, AIDS became a well-known issue, and a proposal for our new football stadium for the Phoenix Cardinals was placed before Mayor Shamel, and the Missouri Lottery was introduced. By the way, this message is solely for educational and informational purposes only, and is not intended for anyone to participate in the lottery.
The fashions changed from two-zone-sided jeans and flowered shirts to stirrup pants and swatch watches. Our fall play, The Pigman, showed as Donald Bryanson. Brian Donaldson. Allie Riddle. Dave Dix, Paul McEwen, and Jackie King made star performances.
Yes, 1986 was a year to remember. One event we will never forget was that 20th day of January when the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded, taking with it 7 astronauts.
As we began our junior year, we discovered to our dismay we had to do term papers. Those 2 little words that many of us racing to the library to find books. Many of us waited until the last moment to do ours, but somehow we all made it.
That year we also showed how much we cared by rising to the call of the National Guard to sandbag the Missouri and Mississippi rivers when they rose 6 feet above flood level.
The spring production of The Odd Couple brought a cast of talented actors and actresses to the stage once again. Who can ever forget Brian Donaldson as the wimpy Felix Unger, the hysterical laughs of Jackie King and Lori Lemons as the Cuckoo Pigeon Sisters, and of course, the cranky Speed, portrayed by Andy Rothman.
This year's musical, our junior year, was Cinderella, but had a small cast of only 93 students. Our junior year also meant that students who like to work with their hands could attend tech school for part of the day. We ended the year by giving the seniors a night to remember at the junior-senior prom, where we gathered for our evening of fun and dancing. We'll always remember the friends we have made through these years, such as the crazy antics of Sophia Ortega, the dramatical ways of Jackie King, and the total strangeness of all the other cliques. How can we forget those bonds we have made, the activities we were in, such as choir, track, and football, and of course, the sisterhood of the cheerleaders and Palmers.
We would like to take a moment to thank our teachers and our parents. It takes special people to give all they can to fill our minds with knowledge. Our high school years have seemingly flashed before our eyes in an array of brilliant colors. But as the St. Charles class of 1988, we leave here with many happy memories. Thank you.
Before we begin, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank the families and friends of the graduates for the support and guidance. We would also like to extend a special thank you to the faculty and staff of St. Charles High School for preparing us well for the future. As we wait to receive our diplomas this evening, we are all experiencing different feelings. For some, this evening will bring about a flood of cheerful emotions and will be a night they will never forget. For others, this evening will be a night of celebration. More intense for some than for others. To many of us, this evening represents the end of 13 years of hard work and brings about a mixture of feelings. Some will receive their diplomas with confidence about their future, while others will feel nervous and apprehensive about what their future holds in store. Each one of us will remember different things about our senior year. We will remember those late-night study sessions, those after-school practices, and the various things that touched our lives this year. Academically, our class has shown much potential. Many of us have worked hard at playing the college admissions game. We've taken our ACTs and SATs, visited the various colleges, and have found a school that suits our needs. Others have chosen to receive job training in trade school or in the military. Irregardless, the decisions we made this year have helped to shape our future. This year, the classes got harder, and many of us got involved in various clubs. Our senior year gave us the opportunity to be officers of those clubs and to develop our leadership ability. Several seniors were recognized for their academic achievements, as 16 students were named outstanding seniors, including our class valedictorian, Jeremy McCoy, and salutatorian, Jenny Looper. This year was a good year for the music department. Many individuals and combined groups in choir and band received superior ratings at State Music Festival. Madrigal Choir received first place in 3A Division at Worlds of Fun competition, and our school band placed first in division at a Chicago band competition. Our varsity sports teams as a whole performed well this year due to the teamwork of many experienced senior players. A few of these players were recognized for their outstanding achievements. In softball, Lori Boyle was named to the All-GAC team, as was Valerie Moscow for volleyball. For soccer, David Radke made the all-conference first team, and 4 other talented players were named to the second team. Football's Joe Marshall, Marvin Davis, and Monty Pitch were named to the all-conference team, and in wrestling, St. Charles High School sent to state Rick Pieria, Joe Marshall, Todd Reinecke, and Scott McNevin. This year, many things individual to the senior year took place. In the fall, we had the traditional class picture taken, as we all attempted to smile and maintain our balance despite the gusty autumn breeze. And although some of us caught an early case of senioritis, most were afflicted after the Easter break. As temperatures rose, grades fell, and attendance rates plummeted, we carefully plotted the unsuccessful senior prank, filled out senior superlatives, and sent graduation announcements. Unfortunately, this year has also been marked by the untimely death of Mary Jo Cobb, who not only taught academics, but also taught her students how to become better people and to appreciate life. 2 other deaths also touched our lives this year, those of SCHS graduate Tom Klinghammer and freshman John Howell. Let us never forget the wonderful services these people gave to our school. It seems the members of the class of '88 are not the only ones to leave St. Charles High School this year. As this year came to a close, so did the teaching careers of American history teacher Dr. George Peters, Western Civilization teacher Harold Feuerhahn, and librarian Mary Thornton. We wish these people a very happy retirement and thank them for what they have taught us. This year has brought an end to many things for us. We have come on campus for the last time as students. We've received our final tardy and our last delicious lunch, closed our lockers for the last time, and said our final goodbyes. They tell us these are the best years of our lives, and although St. Charles High School will always stand out in our hearts and minds as a special place full of fond memories, I believe that for the graduating class of 1988, the best is yet to come. Good luck in all you do. Tonight, Leslie and I would like to congratulate the class of 1988 for graduating. You have enabled yourself for a more desirable future.
As we prepare to receive our diplomas tonight, we need to ask ourselves what graduation really is. We think of graduation as finishing a course of study at a school, but it's not the end, it's a beginning. So tonight is really one of many steps into the future.
As we took our final walk together down this field as the graduating class of 1988, we stand on the threshold of a new beginning. Each of us have different goals and ideas about the future. For some of us, we'll continue on in our educational journey. Others will go into vocational training, military services, look for jobs, or start a family relationship. Just as the past 4 years have formed and molded the foundations of our lives, and will continue to have a different effect on the next 5 years that lie ahead. On this foundation, we will build the ladder which will lead us to great possibilities and opportunities. There's no limit to how high we can climb or what we can achieve as long as we continue to look up and forward. Each goal that we must set must be layered with confidence, encouragement, hard work, and faith within ourselves. The goals that we must set should be just far enough so our reach, that we are challenged, stimulated, and motivated to achieve them. We must look to the future with the same courage and conviction that our parents and teachers did as they started out us on our beginning of our educational journey. It is now time for each of us to take what we have learned and continue on our journey.
Everyone has an image of what they want to be, and as different as everyone's dream may be, inside we are all hoping for one thing: success. There are many different means of success, but if we've achieved our goals and strive for our best, then we have succeeded. We don't need to compete with each other in reaching our goals, but rather challenge ourselves to reach our dreams and fulfill our potential. In 5 years, we will hopefully be together as we are tonight at our first class reunion. Some goals may have been reached by then, while others will still be in the process of being accomplished. Many people may even be starting over again on a different goal than they started out with. The future will bring many opportunities which will come our way day by day. Take advantage and use each day as a learning experience, whether good or bad, for you learn from the bad and prosper from the good. Remember, we will all make our mistakes along the way. It won't be an easy road to follow, but from each mistake we will grow that much more and become wiser because of it. But we're not thinking only of a future of mistakes to overcome. We are focusing on a future of good times, happiness, and success for the class of 1988. Having it all can mean different things for each individual. But even so, we will all be anxious to see what each of us has chosen for ourselves. What will your ultimate goal be? Performing on a stage, being a disc jockey, running for a political office, going into space, or being a successful teacher? No matter what it is, each achieved goal will have its rewards. And if we keep our goal in mind, we can overcome all obstacles and look forward to being the best we each can be.
For tomorrow starts a day of responsibility. Depending on what road or occupation you may take, leave tracks because there will be a follower. Remember, time may fly by, but you're the navigator of your own future.
Although we are glad it's finally over, deep in our hearts we are sad to be leaving. We may be anxious to get out into the real world and be independent, but we are also scared to at last be on our own.
Tonight, you should take time out to say thanks to your parents, because without their love and support, you have never gotten this far. Congratulations and good luck in the future.
Times we laugh, the times we cry.
Otis.
Why don't you
Mark
videotape
this one down.
Get a shot.
As I was saying, Jim L. Otis grew up in Salina, Ohio, and graduated from the Ohio State University in 1970 with a BS in Business Administration. Mr. Otis played football at the Ohio State University for Coach Woody Hayes, attaining American status before playing 9 years in the National Football League for coaches Hank Stram, Don Coryell, and the legendary Bud Wilkinson for the football Cardinals of St. Louis. May I introduce to you Mr. Jim Otis.
Thanks, Sally. St. Charles graduates, moms and dads, families, faculty members. That happens every time I speak someplace. Everybody gets up and leaves. But I can see why you have the greenest field in St. Charles. Not even a graduation stops you from sprinkling the field. I'm going to have to do something here to keep this up. Well, Jim Rash, your principal, has been calling me for 3 months, and he's a very persuasive man. In fact, the last time he called, he said, Jim, you believe in America, don't you? And I said, sure I do. He says, you believe in St. Charles? I said, sure. He says, you believe in education? I said, yeah, get at it. He says, you believe in free speech? I said, yes. He says, good, you're making one on June the 9th. You know, being here underneath the lights and watching the sprinklers go on remind me of a game that I played in about 10 years ago on Monday Night TV. We were playing the Washington Redskins, and it was a tough game. Metcalf that night must have fumbled the ball 7 or 8 times. And of course, on a night game, I would go out to the stadium in the afternoon, and it was a downpour, and George Allen wouldn't put the tarp on the field. By the time we started the game, there was 2 inches of water on the field. So it was a very, very messy game, and we were playing for the Eastern Division lead, and as luck would have it, we lost. And so after the game, I was coming out of the tunnel at Robert Kennedy Stadium in Washington, and there was a little old lady. She had to be around 5'2" or 5'3", and she had on her red slicker, her red boots. I knew who she was for, but I damn near ran over her. And I said, excuse me, ma'am, no offense. And she said, no defense either. I had a chance to play with some great players along the way, just as you've had an opportunity to go to school and with some great people. And one of those fellows was a guy by the name of Conrad Dobler. And he was supposedly supposed to be one of the meanest men in football. But towards the end of our career, Connie would drink a little bit too much beer, and he was gaining weight, and he was kind of getting a beer belly. So one night, I said, Connie, I want to show you something. So I took him down to Anheuser-Busch Brewery, and you could see it was a place of great activity. You could see the lights were on, the smokestacks were steaming, the wind was blowing, it was late fall, the lights all through the plant were on. It was really something to behold. I said, Connie, that's a big, big facility. There's no way you can drink all the beer in that facility. He says, I know it, but I got them working at night, don't I? I thought the theme that you people came up with this year, the future belongs to those who believe in their dreams, is so significant. All the cliches that you hear, all the things that you hear along the way, I'm a guy that believes in every one of them. I believe in setting goals. I believe in hard work and working towards putting something together. You know, when I was a little kid, at around 5 years old, I used to run up the hallway and dive into bed. And when I got into bed, I'd scored a touchdown. And I did that, and I really believed that one day that I would get to do that. And of course, the way things went, I did have that opportunity to score touchdowns. And when I was 8 years old, my father took me to Columbus, Ohio. And I grew up in a town just like St. Charles. That school building over there, it's just like the one I went to school in. This stadium with the concrete stadium over here and the bleachers over here and the little press box and the lights, just like the ones that I played. But I got to meet my hero. His name was Howard Cassidy. He was the Heisman Trophy winner, and that trophy is given to the greatest college football player in America. And we had our pictures taken together. And he signed on my picture, "I'll see you play here at Ohio State in 1966. Your friend, Hop Cassidy." Believe it or not, that that picture still has a prominent place in my home because I really thought that Howard Cassidy wanted me to go to Ohio State and play football. I didn't know it. But at that early age, running down that hallway, jumping into bed, scoring touchdowns, having Hop Cassidy say, "I'll meet you at Ohio State." I was formulating goals. Florence Chadwick was one of the greatest women swimmers in the world. She was the first swimmer ever to swim between the Catalina Islands and the West Coast, the California coast, a 21-mile strip of ocean. Now, let me tell you a little bit that makes this significant. It's choppy water. It's usually cold. It's usually in the 60, 65 degrees. And, of course, there's all sorts of tides and currents. And she wanted to be the first woman ever to make it. Well, she got within a mile of the shore, and she had to stop. And all the people that were with her, all the workers in the boat, encouraged her to keep swimming. And there was just no way she could do it because she had the cramps. She was straining. She was frothing at the mouth. All the things that we see at these long-distance runners. There was no way she could do it. And they pulled her back in the boat. 3 weeks later, she tried it again. And you know, we had the same conditions. The same choppy water, 3-4 feet waves. The same temperature in the water, 50-some degrees. The outside air was 65 degrees. She had the same cramps, the same fog up along the shore. And she made it that time. And all the newspaper people said, "How did you do it this time when you couldn't do it 3 weeks ago?" She said, "I saw the shore." They said, "You couldn't have seen the shore." She said, "I did. I saw the shore in the back of my mind." Florence Chadwick had a clear, vivid picture of where she was going. And I looked at your theme, and I said, "The future belongs to those who believe in their dreams." Please believe that. You better dream great dreams and think great, positive thoughts. Get away from those people that are negative thinkers. Do you think that they can ever do anything for you? Hopefully you can do something for them. Remember this. People see you the way you see yourself. In other words, I'm talking about self-image. Self-image. So many times you see a show-off or somebody squealing tires or something, and they think everybody's looking at them. Well, that's not really what's going on. They're usually saying, what's this nut doing? And then the next time you see him, you don't treat him like he's the President of the United States either, do you? Usually you treat people the way they want you to treat them. Glenn Cunningham was the first American, was the first human being ever to break a 4-minute mile. Did you ever think for a minute there's been 500 people that have broken 4-minute miles since he did that? And today, when we see a race, we don't think anything about it. Now, I thought about that a little bit. We don't think anything about it when someone breaks a 4-minute mile. I don't know if anybody in the stadium could do it, but we see it happening every week. I have to believe that it's mental. I know that the way that they condition the athletes today is much. I want to tell you just a little story because I'm under tremendous pressure. We're off this stand within a few moments. The only questions I heard tonight when I got here was, how long's your speech? Let me get you thinking just a little bit for a second. What happens when a young kid comes out here and he goes after the football team? What's he want to do? Well, I'll tell you what he wants to do. He wants to become the starter. He wants to be on the first string. It's not just making the team, but he wants to be a player. He wants to be a starter. And before you know it, when that young boy makes the team and he becomes the starting player, he can go home and he can look all you kids straight in the eyes as if to say, I'm the best football player in our football team in my position. I didn't say he was going to say that. I said as if to say. And then as that kid goes along and his team wins all their games and he becomes all district, he can look the whole district square in the eyes as if to say, I'm the best football player in my position in this whole district. And then time goes on. He goes to a great university like Missouri or Illinois or maybe even Ohio State. And his team wins all their games and they become national champs and he becomes All-American. He can look the whole country square in the eyes as if to say, I'm the best player in my position in the entire United States. That's a powerful, positive punch. Stepping up to the firing line and trading punches with any problem. It's a beautiful thing called confidence. That same kid, if you don't think he's going to get knocked down a few times along the way, he's going to get knocked down, and every time he does, you know what he does? He gets a little bit of sand under his craw, and he gets back up on his feet faced in the same direction. He's going to say, that's not going to happen again, but it does, and he gets knocked down. You know the thing sometimes we don't understand, and I'm not that much older than you, we don't understand that our parents get knocked down. But they've had to learn to get back up, faced in the same direction, with more intensity. And they learn to step up to the firing line until getting back becomes a beautiful, beautiful habit called courage. And one of the great things is when you see that team, that football team, go to the middle of the field and put their hands together. And they're saying, we're going to do things for each other. I can remember being in the Cardinal locker room, having little Terry Metcalf, 190 pounds, tell me how he was going to take out these linebackers. Well, Terry wasn't going to take out any linebackers, but he scared the dickens out of them because he'd run right at them, and they didn't know whether he was going to go up the sideline or what he was going to do. And what would that do? That would open up a crevice for me to run off tackle. And Dan Deerdorf would say to Hart, he'd say, we're going to keep them out. And Jimmy Hart would say, well, I'm going to get rid of the ball if they get in. And all of a sudden, you got a bunch of guys doing things for each other to try to help each other win football games. It's a beautiful thing called teamwork. You win with people. You don't do it by yourself. It'd be pretty boring and pretty lonely life if you had to depend on yourself to do everything. But you know what? Across this beautiful campus here at St. Charles High School, there's going to be every class. You're going to have the soapbox rabble-rouser. And he's trying desperately to gather all the losers around him because he doesn't have the confidence to go it alone. And only because he lives in the grandest country on the face of the earth, where the law enforces a man's right to speak, does he even have the courage to call out all that pig slop and hogwash. And he pounds the podium with his shoe while he's being argued down because he never knew the meaning of teamwork. And if you look at me and you say, well, geez, Jim, maybe you have a lot of that sort of thing because you played sports. I don't know anybody that hasn't competed someplace along the line, who hasn't had to have the courage to get back up once they've fallen down. And I don't know anybody that hasn't felt the teamwork that you feel, that great, great feeling. There's nothing like it, of getting all you kids together. And you know what you're doing? You're graduating together. The greatest and most basic thing in football, and don't ever forget it, is when you go into the huddle and that quarterback calls the play and you break and you come out together. Just like you kids tonight are going to come up here and you're going to graduate, and you're going to graduate together, because when you came into this school, you came in together. And you went through 4 years, and you're getting ready to do great things. Look around at this group tonight. Somebody in this group is going to do something very, very significant in the next 10 years. And you have a small part in that success, because you kids have learned together, you've played sports together, you've done all these things for the last 4 years. You become a team. And when you leave here, you know what I wish each and every one of you would do? I wish you'd go home tonight, and I wish you'd give your parents the biggest hug and the biggest kiss in the world and tell them how much you love them. Because they would do anything for you to be sitting right here. And their sacrifices and those things I told you about courage, you don't think they've been knocked down? And it's a little easier for them to get up because of you. They love you. So when you go home tonight, you're not a sissy to go home and give your mom and dad a hug and a kiss. I still do. And I'll tell you what, I haven't had anybody call me a sissy for a long time. Kids, I hope that you have a clear, vivid picture, and don't ever let anyone along the way discourage you for going after it. There's no goal too big. There's nothing too difficult if you really want to do it. Just work your buns off and then some. Good luck to you.
On behalf of the class of 1988, we extend our appreciation for you being with us tonight on this special occasion. Your remarks added much to the class theme. The future belongs to those who believe in their dreams. At this time, I would like to take a few minutes to thank those people who worked so hard to make tonight's program such a success. And first of all, Mrs. Horn, the class sponsor, and the senior sponsor. Mrs. Horn. Other members are Mr. Atkinson, Mrs. Caples, Mrs. Hodges, Mrs. Kelly, Mr. Utt, Mr. Beckham, Mrs. Watkins, Mr. Poe, and Mr. Cook. You also give them applause. I also want to thank Sally Walker, the president of the senior class, and the senior reps. Would you all please stand for recognition? I want to thank you as a class for the senior class gift, the plaque with the crest on it will hang proudly in the front hall, and the class of 88 will be remembered for many years. I want to say to you, the class of 88, that we congratulate you on this special night. You have accomplished many things in order to be here tonight. It is time to be proud of all that you have accomplished and to look back on the many things and the many experiences that you have done. It is also time for a new beginning in the future. You will take with you what you have learned over the past 12 years and use it in a positive way to achieve and meet the many challenges that are ahead. On behalf of the faculty at St. Charles High, I congratulate you and wish you continued success. You parents are also to be congratulated. You're to be very proud of your son or daughter here tonight. I know without your support, without your encouragement, it would have not been even possible. So to you parents, we say thank you for a job well done. At this time, I'd like to recognize the valedictorian of the class, Jeremy McCoy. Please stand. And Jenny Looper, salutatorian. At this time, I introduce to you the President of the Board of Education, Mrs. Jean Meyer.
On behalf of the board, I want to congratulate each of you. You are to be commended for the effort and the work that you have put into the past 4 years and that have brought you to this moment. I hope that we have helped to prepare you to pursue your future goals. Please bear with me while I give you one more piece of advice. I know you've heard a lot tonight, but I have a standard piece of advice for graduating seniors. No matter what road you choose to travel, no matter what vocation or career you select, be proud of what you do. Be responsible, be honest, and do the absolute best that you are capable of. Then you should be happy with yourself. I also would like to join the others in thanking the parents and the families for the support they have given you in helping you to reach this moment. Again, our heartiest congratulations and sincere wishes for the very best future for the St. Charles High School class of 1988.
At this time, I'd like to present to you the class of 88 for the receiving of their diplomas.
Christopher Wayne Clark. Janine Allison Elston. Stephanie May Hale. Kurt Lee Hallemeyer. Julia Dawn Hauser. Leslie Lackey Hedges. Laura Lynn Holting. Jacqueline Ann King. Rebecca Lee Lammers. Holly K. Lasonsky. Jennifer Yvonne Luper. Timothy Vincent Malden. Jeremy Brian McCoy. Paul Allen McEwen. Valerie Ann Moscow. Susan K. Pundman. Tim A. Reynolds. Sally Ann Walker. Jason Meyer Watkins. Nazru Anwar Ebro.
Kimberly Jean Babbitt. Paul E. Barr IV.
Ashley Dawn Beagle.
James Matthew Belts.
Wayne A. Bine.
Glenn Allen Blattman.
Matthew G. Blodgett.
Craig A. Bookstein.
Dana Renee Bova.
Pamela Joe Boyer.
Lori Ann Boyle.
Robert Douglas Brader.
Jennifer Lee Braun.
Julie Ann Bronslather.
Michael James Brescia.
Stephen Sheldon Brewer.
Christine Melissa Broder.
Kyle C. Brown.
Tommy R. Broyles.
Wendy G. Bryan.
Patricia Lynn Bunch.
Scott Christopher Burke.
Christine Renee Carroll.
Wesley W. Chitwood.
Julie Ann Krismer.
Candace Lee Civey.
Michael Bradley Claxton.
Richard D. Calambado.
James Corey Comparato.
Michelle Denise Cuvion.
Carrie Ann Coy.
Nancy Catherine Cummings.
John Mark Curtright.
Christina M. Dake.
Leslie Michelle Dalton.
Marvin L. Davis.
Jerry M. Dean.
Dave D. Dix.
Sally Ann Dix.
Donna Marie Dingledine.
Brett Anthony Dobridge.
Rhonda Lee Dodd.
Brian J. Donaldson.
Laura Ann Dorlock.
Brian Heath Dino.
Lori Ann Eckel.
Brian Christopher Edwards.
J. Christopher Edwards.
Mary Christine Ellison.
Mary Beth Elmendorf.
Tiffany Deanne Ely.
Bobby G. Fan.
Gary
W. Fortman.
Daniel Joseph Funderburg.
Russell Allen Gatewood.
Dan Crawford Gravy.
Tracy Lynn Grivey.
Nicole Lee Quinn.
James Edward Haynes.
Jeffrey Brett Hamilton.
Robin Mary Elizabeth Hanley.
David R. Hansen.
Deborah Christelle Hansen. Scott Hargo.
Shauna Lee Hetty.
Linda E. Helfenstein.
Michael John Hensick.
Robert Kevin Hensley.
Daniel W. Herr.
Eric Jason Hoffman.
Christine K. Holt.
Donald Aaron Hull.
Tammy Sue Humphreys.
Barbara Ann Jasmine.
Charles L. Jeffords Jr.
Barbara Lynn Johnson.
Timothy D. Jones.
Joseph Edward Kiefer.
Charles Edward King.
Paula Renee King.
Tamara Ray King.
James Paul Kern.
Karen Renee Kitchen.
Nancy Marie Knapp.
Lisa Michelle Knibe.
Brian Henry Colling.
Melissa Marie Cramey.
Todd Robert Kreider.
Melissa Ann Cruzy.
Andrea Lynn Kurth.
Shelley B. Lane.
Ronald Locke. Catherine Renee Lurch.
Rachel Jean Lewis.
Jeffrey Brian Lipka.
Constance Marie Leffler.
Christy Darlene Lucas.
James David Zen.
Tamara Madding.
Carla Lynn Mahaffey.
Jennifer Lynn Mandrell.
Roxanne Mary Marcotte.
Joseph W. Marshall.
Tracy Lynn Rose Martin.
Michael Craig Masters.
Donna Michelle McClellan.
Barbara Ann McElroy.
Scott Michael McNevin.
Michelle Renee McQuiston.
Brian Mark Melius.
Michael David Mesner.
Connie Lynn Moore.
Sheila M. Moore.
Tracy Lynn Morris.
Nicole Anita Moss.
Hadley Dean Nadler.
Jeffrey Charles Nichols.
Naoko Nita.
Carla Denise Dodo.
Stephanie Lynn Oakley.
Sophia Erica Ortega.
Rick P. Pieria.
Kathleen Sue Pearl.
Kimberly Sue Pelster.
Tony Jean Pennington.
Daniel Perkins.
William A. Perkins.
Linda Irene Peters.
Clay Andrew Phillips.
Daniel Joseph Piper.
Kendra Sue Basari.
Monty G. Pitch.
Harry David Hulkinghorn.
H.C. Post.
Jody Marie Priest.
Tracy Diane Prince.
Catherine E. Prince.
David Lorraine Radke.
Terry Lynn Ravenscraft.
Kirk B. Raycott.
David Todd Reinecke.
Olivia Remington.
Rebecca R. Remington.
Gregory Reinhardt.
Alyssa Joy Riddle.
Mary C. Riley.
Patricia Lynn Roberts.
Maria Rose Rader.
Michael Andrew Rothman.
Alicia Louise Ross.
Brian William Ross.
Jennifer Lynn Rush.
Jennifer Lee Sanders.
Curtis Dale Sanford.
Christopher Warren Schluter.
Gwendolyn Marie Sissom.
Laura Renee C.
James B. Shea.
Demonia Michelle Shelton.
Teresa Lynn Sherfy.
Thomas Smith II.
Randy Charles Smith.
John Haywood Snipes.
Stephen Haywood Snipes.
Kara Stevens.
Barbara R. Tanner.
Tracy Lynn Teague.
Michael Todd Turbrock.
Tracy Renee Carroll.
Sarah Elizabeth Teamy.
Renee Justine Thompson.
Bonnie Sue Elk.
Lisa Susan Vale.
Mark Castle Vale.
Robert Scott Van Barneveld.
Dennis Paul Wagner Jr.
Catherine Rhea Weathers.
Amy Christine Wyatt.
Ellen Diane Wilford.
Cynthia Victoria Wilkie.
Ted William Wilson.
Russell L. Wing.
Timothy James Witherwax.
Scott Aaron Womack.
Mary L. Wood.
Glenn D. Wright Jr. Richard Patrick Bertel. Help us to adhere the special memories of our past 4 years and cherish the friendships that we have made. Please help us to remember the good times and not the bad as we leave these sacred halls of our teachers and administration. We ask your blessings as we go forward into a new world, some continuing their education, some entering the workforce, and some going to serve our country. We ask you to lead us as we try to make the right decisions and face the challenges in whatever we encounter. Help us to meet the demands of today and face the challenges of tomorrow. And dear Lord, bless this class of 1988. Amen.